Hi everyone, welcome back to RAW.FPL. So in this one, it's the Game Week 28 first look. So we'll be going over how I did in Game Week 27, which, yeah, it went pretty well. It was another green arrow, so that's now 5 in a row. Only a small one, but yeah, still a green arrow. So yeah, we're going to go over how I did in Game Week 27, and then Game Week 28, yeah, it's just around the corner, and we'll be obviously looking at Game Week 29 as well, because that is the big blank game week. It seems like we've been planning for that for ages now. So yeah, we'll be going over how I'm navigating Game Week 29 and then Game Week 34 and Game Week 37. So the two double game weeks as well. So if you do like this one, please do drop a like, and if you are new, please do subscribe. And let's jump into it. All right, so this is how the team did in Game Week 27. As I said, another green arrow. That's 5 in a row. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting it to end soon, but yeah, it's a good run. I think I've gone from about 750k up to 237. I think I'm on now, 236k. So yeah, it's been a good turn of fortune, which is quite surprising because a lot of people have been using the free hits. Last week, a lot of people used the free hit there, and a lot of people have committed to using the free hit in 29. Whereas I've just been sort of slowly planning to have a okay team for Game Week 29, and then save my free hit and use it in 34. So yeah, this is how the team went. 80 points. So it's in net, Dubravka again. I'm getting these two the wrong way around. Areola with 13. I mean, you can't really kick yourself too bad because, I mean, it's a penalty save, wasn't it? So you can't really, yeah, 13 points. Penalty saved. You got 9 saves as well. So yeah, Dubravka a bit simpler. He got the clean sheet. And when you're looking at your goalkeepers, you're thinking, who's going to keep a clean sheet, not who's going to save a penalty. So I feel like the decision making behind that was sound. It was just yeah, quite unfortunate to keep Areola on the bench. But anyway, Dubravka still returned. The defence again continues to do pretty poorly. So Stones with a 2-pointer, that Rashford bullet. Yeah, I mean there's not a lot Edison could have done about that. So yeah, Stones with a 2-pointer. I am thinking of getting rid of Stones because yeah, it's got Liverpool away next, then a blank, and then Arsenal. So I think you can slowly sort of start to move away from your Man City assets. So I'm looking to get rid of Stones this week. Moreno, 1 point. Yeah, I mean, he was transferred in last week. So he's got Spurs, and then he's got West Ham. But crucially, he does play in 29, which is the only reason I bought him in, really. But Luca Dean came on, and then he scored. So, yeah, bit annoying as a Moreno owner. But anyway, 1 point there. Gabriel kept the clean sheet. Sheffield United just got, yeah, they got battered, didn't they, really? If you have Gabriel, if you have one Arsenal defender, you're in the top 500k, you've got one Arsenal defender, actually them keeping a clean sheet would have negatively impacted you because so many people have got 2 Arsenal defenders. So yeah, Gabriel keeping a clean sheet it looked good, but it actually negatively impacted me. The same with Saka, because so many people captained him. I actually didn't want him to score really because, yeah, it would have negatively impacted my rank as well. So Saka, if you did captain him, he obviously beat Haaland, but you could probably feel quite unlucky really. He got brought off, didn't he, at half time, but he just continues to look, yeah, really good. So yeah, if you don't have Saka, again, one eye needs to be sort of kept on Game Week 29. But if you don't have Saka and you're free hitting or something, I think he looks good. Son, he was the new transfer in. Again, I think he was quite unlucky. He could have had a couple more, could have had a couple assists as well. But he gets the goal, 7 points. Happy to have him. Again, he plays in 29, so if you've not got Son, I think he's good to target if you're free hitting or not. So yeah, he's got Fulham in 29, and he's got Villa, which Villa away is not the easiest, but you'd still expect them to score. And obviously with Richarlison out, you'd expect Son to be in the middle. Bowen, on the back of his hat-trick, he gets a 5-pointer. Happy to have him. Plays in 29. Decent fixture next week as well. He's actually a captain consideration this week, which I'll discuss a bit more later on. And then Foden just continuing to deliver. Another brace. He just looks so good, doesn't he? Yeah, another 15-pointer. But as I said, he's got Liverpool away. He's then got blank, and he's then got Arsenal at home. And I'll then be looking to wildcard in 31. So he's another one I'm sort of potentially going to sell, but yeah, I'll discuss that a bit more later in the video. And then Palmer, again, he's just been pretty solid, hasn't he? Another return, such good value. So yeah, he's not going anywhere for now. And then Watkins, Mr. Consistent, delivers yet again. 13-pointer, so he's going nowhere, plays in 29. And then Captain Haaland, I don't know how he missed that goal, literally 1 yard out. He's been missing quite a few chances recently since his return from injury. But yeah, at least he got the goal at the end because, you know, Son returned, Saka returned. Haaland, he just should have had way more expected goals, 1.64. I don't know how he missed that chance. But yeah, and again, if there's any time, ever a time to be without Haaland, it's probably this time because, you know, they've got the tough fixture away at Liverpool, then the blank, then they've got Arsenal. So, I mean, you can just wildcard him back in if you are going to use your wildcard soon. So yeah, I don't actually mind selling Haaland this week, really. Having the bench, yeah, Konza's back, so that's really good news for me. Game week 29. Archer, I'm going to sell him anyway. And then Taylor plays, so yeah, we're in a good position. As I said, another green arrow up to 236k. So let's hope we can keep this momentum going into game week 28. So I'll just show you my sort of initial transfer plans for game week 28 now. So these are the transfer thoughts for game week 28, but there's obviously a lot of it now is thinking ahead to game week 29. So I feel like you're going to be split in two camps. You're either like me, where you're not going to be free hitting in 29, or you decided that you are going to free hit or you are going to wildcard. So first, let's go over if you're not free hitting. So if you're not free hitting like me, I think the ones to target, a good team to target is Luton because they're double this week in 28. So they've got Palace and then they've got Bournemouth, both away games, but you know they do still double, and you can expect some attacking returns there. So I think, yeah, if you haven't got Doherty, he looks good. He's obviously on most set pieces, and he's just got such a good delivery, isn't he? So I think he looks really good. So I'm probably going to be moving Stones on for Doherty this week. Up top, Morris, he looks pretty good. I do think there's a debate though about Solanke and Morris. I think Solanke is going to be so well owned. He's got such a good double that I probably would prefer Solanke over Morris. But if you don't have enough players and you're struggling, then I don't mind the Morris pick, because the big thing with obviously all of the Luton players is they do play in 29. So yeah, that's a massive plus for them. So yeah, I plan to save the free hit, and then I'm going to sort of wildcard out of the team in probably game week 31, because game week 30 doesn't look too bad. So yeah, if you don't have a free hit, or you're not using your free hit, sorry, I would target Luton players. And also, I think Spurs players still look good, and Villa. So if you're going into game week 29, you're thinking, oh well, I don't have enough players. I think as long as you've got these key players, you've got Son, you've got maybe another Spurs attacker, so Maddison, you've got Watkins, you've got Tony, maybe you've got a couple of other players like Areola. You might have a Villa defender. As long as you've got these core sort of players, I think you're okay. And if you're trying to save your free hit, or if you just don't have your free hit, I think having 7-8 players is absolutely fine. I just don't think there's massive upside. As long as you've got these key players here, I think you'll be all right. You might just have to take a slight hit. You're not going to get as many points as the people with who are free hitting, but still, I think as long as you have these core players, I think you'll be good. So yeah, if you don't have your free hit, or you plan on not using your free hit, target these guys here. But the spanner of the works really is Solanke. Yeah, his double is just too good to ignore. Sheffield United at home and Luton at home, so I do think he is pretty essential. So you need to kind of bear that in mind, that you're going to have to use a transfer to get him in this week, because that double is just so good. It was on when he was injured. I mean, I don't want to wish injury upon anyone, but it would have been a lot easier if he was out, because I could have just got Morris instead. But yeah, if you have decided that you're going to free hit for game week 29, then obviously it doesn't matter for you guys, because you can just ignore game week 29 pretty much and just forget about it. So you can attack this double game week quite heavily. So you're going to be targeting the likes of Solanke, The likes of Neto in net maybe. I mean, Senesi, if you brought him in last week, that's pretty unlucky because he's obviously now injured. So yeah, Sabani, if you do need a defender, I look for him. And then also after, you'd be free hitting in 29, and then you've got Everton, Palace, and then Luton again. So the fixtures after that are just, really good. So I think if you are using your free hit, or if you're using a wild card maybe, then yeah, I'd look to target Bournemouth. So just looking at this now then, this is, just move my head up, there we go. So this is, keep an eye on game week 34, and game week 37, because these are the two big doubles really. So this is from Ben Krellin. Again, if you don't follow him on Twitter, just give him a follow and you'll be able to have a look at all these tables. But basically, these are the teams that are expected to double in game week 34 and those expected to double in game week 37. So, looking at the table on the left, as I said, so the teams who are likely going to double in game week 34 are Bournemouth, Palace, Everton, Sheffield United, Man United and Newcastle. So they're likely to double in game week 34. So of those, there's not that many teams who you're going to want to carry for a while. So that's why I'm preferring free hitting in game week 34. Because then I can just free hit, get all those players in, and then I'll have the better players in, either side of that game week. And then game week 37, so you've got Brighton, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Tottenham and Wolves. So these are all potentially doubling in game week 37. So of those, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, you're probably going to have quite a lot of those assets anyway, even Tottenham. So yeah, it'll be good to probably bench boost in game week 37 because you're going to have a lot of those players. So that's my sort of plan. Wild card 31. Have all these key players like Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, and then I'll free hit in 34. That way I can get lots of doublers from, Palace, Everton, Man United, Newcastle, but I won't have to hold them all the way through. So yeah, just have a look at your team and just see what you can do there, because I think if you can, saving the free hit would definitely be useful. So the transfers, if you are going to free hit in game week 29, I think targeting Arsenal look good as well, because they're just attacking so much better now. The scoring goals are fun, and I think having Saka by himself isn't enough because everyone's now got Saka. And yeah, they're gonna double, and it looks like it's going to likely be game week 37. So that's what I'm saying. Where you're going to want Arsenal players anyway. So free hitting in 34 makes more sense, and then bench boost in 37. So yeah, if you are free hitting, you can just if you're free hitting in game week 29, you can just kind of ignore it. So then I'd recommend just getting more Arsenal assets in there. And yeah, Odegaard, he looks probably the better one. Martinelli, he did go off injured, so you have to wait and have a look at that one. But I think if I was to pick one of the two, it'd be Odegaard anyway. So just going to take a look then how the team's shaping up. So yeah, the initial plan really is to go from Stones to Doherty, and then Archer up to Solanke, so that'll be a -4. So Stones has got Liverpool away, which I don't expect a clean sheet there. And Doherty's obviously got that double. I'm not expecting a clean sheet really, but I think he's got good attacking potential. And then Solanke, he just seems a no-brainer, and he does seem pretty essential. So many people are going to captain him. Some people even triple captain him. So yeah, I think that's the transfer. Stones to Doherty, and then Archer to Solanke. And to be honest, I'm not really expecting a green arrow this week because I know a lot of people just wildcarded. And a lot of people, will be free hitting or, using transfers to get more double game week players. So yeah, we'll have to see. But I think at this point, I can get a decent team going to game week 29 as well, which I'll just talk about now. And I'll just show you the general plan leading into game week 29. Right then, so yeah, this is the team going into game week 28. So just as I said, you've got two double game week players in Doherty and Solanke. So I think it's going to be damage limitation. So yeah, I'm not expecting a green arrow this week, but Solanke captain. But the benefit of this is going into game week 29. So obviously I'll have one free transfer. And yeah, the team's not looking too bad. I feel like I've got a lot of the key players. So I've got Watkins, I've got Son, Bowen. I've got a full back line as well, albeit with Charlie Taylor, but still, it's better than nothing. So I think the plan here would be get Solanke out, bring Turney in. So I'll be one free transfer. But I need some money to do that. So it's either Foden or Saka. But if I get rid of Saka, I can then get Maddison in. So that's going to be for a -4. So yeah, I can afford to do that. So that'll be, yeah, it'll be a 4-3-2 formation. So I can get 10 players out, which in blank game, big blank game week, the biggest one of the season, a lot of people are going to be using the free hit on this. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to be massively different. I think they might have potentially another, they might have Douglas Luiz, or they might have Kulizeski or something like that. They might have Porro in defence. But I just think saving the free hit and using a -4 here is probably, pretty beneficial. And then going into game week 30, as I said, the Spurs players, they've got Luton. And, you've got Man City against Arsenal. So I'll keep Haaland, I guess, and then I'd probably bring Palmer back in. And I could even, use a transfer somewhere. I might even get Doherty out for Porro or something like that. But yeah, that's the sort of plan. I'll just wild card in game week 31. So I'll be nice and set up game week 31. And then, yeah, I'll free hit in 34. And game week 37, that's when I look to bench boost. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. We'll have to see how we get on. But yeah, that is the general plan anyway. So that is the general plan for game week 28 and beyond. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, and please do hit subscribe if you're new. I'll be back just before the deadline, so Thursday, Friday. I'll go over my team selection. So any sort of final thoughts, any injuries that crop up, all that sort of stuff, I'll put in that video. But yeah, if you do have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll catch you again at the end of the week.